Yo, what's good, everyone? Your boy Deke back again with another vid. We got the Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Las Vegas Raiders in week 2 of the NFL season. Both teams 1-0. Steelers won against the Bills earlier on Sunday. Raiders got the win on Monday night against the Ravens in dramatic fashion. And if I was like you guys, I was going away from that game like, wow, the Raiders are kind of impressive. The thing for me, though, is I only caught like a portion of the second half, almost all the fourth quarter, and then all of overtime. And in those portions of the game, Derek Carr looked like he was Derek Carr 2.0, like he flipped the switch. He could be a top 10 quarterback, a bona fide franchise quarterback. But whenever I rewatched the game, he looked shaky in the first half. He looked shaky most of the game. I looked back on the stats, 170 yards in the first three quarters. He was inaccurate. He forced the ball to Waller, which I don't blame him. He's like their main target. But yeah, he wasn't as good as the final stat line is going to tell you. Big props to him for getting the dub and having those clutch drives, but maybe that's more of a one-off, and Derek Carr that we've seen most of his career is what we're going to see in this game. That's what I'm expecting, because he finished the game with over 400 yards and 2 touchdowns. Whenever you watch back on it, it's like this game doesn't feel like an over 400-yard game. You consider that overtime he had over 100 yards. So that's that. And then on some of his big passing plays, it looked like the Ravens would blitz and it would just be single man coverage for all of his receivers. Provided him those long pass opportunities, which in my opinion, I don't think we're really going to have to do. You consider we dismantled the Bills' offensive line by only rushing 4 on a pretty consistent basis. And then the Raiders' offensive line is not as good as the Bills. At least right now, especially right now. They have Alex Leatherwood, who is a rookie, looked kind of shaky on Monday night. He had a bunch of penalties. And then outside of Colton Miller, they have 3 unproven guys because their starting guard, Denzel Good, went down towards ACL. He's out for the season. And then whenever you look at the Ravens defense, they held the Raiders in check. Probably should have won the game. I think us as the Steelers, whenever you compare us to Baltimore, have a better defense from top to bottom, hands down. So I'm thinking we're going to be fine against the Raiders. What are some of the mismatches they may pose, though? Darren Waller, obviously. Hunter Renfrow. I guess we could throw Ruggs in there just because of his speed. Josh Jacobs, I'm not too worried about. A really good running back. So is Kenyon Drake. But matched up against Schober or Bush or just running against our defensive line, outside linebackers, I like our chances. But let's get back to Darren Waller. Ravens, it looked like they threw an array of like Chuck Clark, Marlon Humphreys, a bunch of different players on him. Was working for the most part in the first half. Derek Carr was forcing the ball to him, like I said previously. But second half, it looked like he could not be stopped at all. What the Ravens don't have, though, is a man by the name of Minkah Fitzpatrick, who, in our opinion, is pretty much the best safety in the NFL. I didn't think I'd be saying this until I saw him play a little bit of the slot on Sunday, but he may get the nod against Darren Waller. Also throw in Terrell Edmonds. I don't know if Cam Sutton's big enough. I don't know if we'd throw Joe Hayden in there at all. I really doubt that. Some are saying maybe this is Ahkello Witherspoon's time to shine, long-rangey corner, someone that we could throw on Darren Waller. But yeah, he's obviously going to be a tough mismatch, basically the main one for the Raiders whenever they face off against our defense. Hunter Renfrow. Saw Trey Norwood play against Beasley pretty well against the Bills last week. So I think we could do that. If not, we could throw Cam on him, maybe have Pierre play on the outside. And then that leaves, if all is well, we are able to play Trey Norwood against Renfrow, Joe Hayden, Cam Sutton versus Ruggs and Edwards. You saw how we did against Buffalo's crew last week. I think they'll be fine. I'm probably most concerned about Waller. Throw Renfrow in there, but I think we'll be able to throw some doubles at them, not have to sacrifice too much considering the Raiders' offensive line and then the other weapons on offense. I just don't think they're up to that par where we should be focusing that much other attention to. On our offense, I don't think Raiders' secondary is better than Buffalo, really, nor are their linebackers. Main concern is going to be Max Crosby, and it looks like we may have caught another break. One was obviously Denzel Good being out for their offense, but then on defense, it looks like Ngakoue is going to be out of their lineup. We saw what Max Crosby was able to do to the Ravens' offensive line, particularly Al Villanueva on Monday night. And we saw what our offensive line looked like for a good portion of Sunday's game. So, yeah, that's probably going to be our biggest concern. How are we going to be able to handle Max Crosby? I'm guessing though of Pharrell sub in, although he was scratched last game, and he's pretty much been a bust up to this point. The other question is Max Crosby really hitting the peak of his career right now? Is this going to be a career year for him? Or was it just because he simply went up against Al Villanueva? That remains to be seen. We could probably throw Najee to that side here and there. Pat Freiermuth, the additional tight end, whether it's Gentry or Pat, for additional blocking. I think the line as a whole will only get better as well. I expect Najee to get things going. Ben's going to have a good game, the home opener. And even for the podcast, whenever I think about this more and more, if we go position by position and try to rank Steelers versus Raiders like we did last week with the Bills, I think we have them beaten every positional category outside of tight end. So I think we'll be fine. We'll get the dub. Like I said, the spread's 6.5. I think we will beat that spread. We'll win by double digits. I'll give a more descriptive preview on the podcast probably later tonight. But I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you guys think of this game coming up down in the comments. Stay chilling. Peace.